Welcome, friends. I'm Gina Nicole, and this is the Goddess Channel. I have a message for you today that I'm really excited to share because when it came in, it was a message that came in for me personally, and this was several days ago. But this time, I got the nudge that it's a message that wants to be shared with the collective, with our community specifically. So I want to share it with you with the hope that it will alleviate something from your heart, is what they're telling me. And when I say they, I mean my guides, spirit, the beings working with us in, as we always intend, purest love and light to share messages, transmissions, energy upgrades, downloads, etc. So when you hear me say they, or just kind of referring to random people that I haven't mentioned, I'm really just talking about aspects of spirit. And one of those aspects that is coming through with this message for you is Archangel Jophiel. And she didn't come in when I originally received this message, so we'll see if there's more that she has to share that I haven't heard yet. But the message is really about our physical bodies, especially as empaths, as beings that may feel like angelic beings, empathic beings, sensitive beings. However you identify on this journey, if you're listening to this channel, you probably are quite a deep, sensitive, aware, awakening being. And a lot of the time, what can come with that is we can hold extra weight during either all of our lives or particular periods of our lives. You might find yourself going up and down in weight during different periods, but there can be quite a thing around that, right? And as we do with most energies until we become more aware, is when you're sensitive, when you're very observant, very aware, you tend to make it something wrong with you, something that feels like your fault. But that's really, really not the case. Our light is here to transform what we experience, which is why as souls, we choose to have these experiences because we're alchemists and we use our bodies. And when I say bodies, I mean the physical body, but all of the energy bodies as well. That includes the mental body, emotional body, aura, etc. And so our bodies are a way of transmitting light, creating alchemy, and shifting, transmuting, and transfiguring energies. Right? That's why we came to this planet at this time, to be able to have experiences and alchemize those energies with our light. So we're not transforming things because there's something wrong with us, or rather, I should say, we're not experiencing something because it's personal, because it's something that's wrong with us that we need to overcome. That's an incredibly third-dimensional belief system. And as we're shifting into a fifth-dimensional alignment, we are now awakening to the idea, oh, there was never anything wrong with me. I'm actually here as the solution. I'm here transforming anything that was a shadow back to the light of its true existence. And so the reason I'm kind of starting with that preamble is if you're listening to me for the first time, you may not have heard that. Now, the message coming in today about your body and why maybe you felt like you couldn't lose weight, or you couldn't transform your body, or you felt lazy, or you went through depression and anxiety and all these other things that cause us to eat foods like processed foods or things that keep us in this state of holding on to excess weight. The message that's coming through today is the reason that happened is not because something's wrong with you, is not a lesson you need to learn or whatever. It's because you perceived the frequency of shame within you coming from these patterns, how you were treated, how people viewed you, things people said to you in childhood. This could be abusive situations. You know how you grew up, what you experienced on your path, especially in childhood, especially in your formative years. And as empaths, when we perceive shame about ourselves, there's something wrong with us. And that could have been about the physical body, but most often that wasn't the origin. We felt shame about something, right? We felt shame. I'm not good enough. I'm not popular enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not smart enough. Mom doesn't love me. There could be any number of reasons where shame first anchored in your being, most likely in the womb, right? You're picking up all of these ancestral patterns, and that's forming an identity that you then believe is yours. And as a sensitive being, you then start noticing all the frequencies around you, and you start pulling all of that into thinking it's personal because you're feeling it so profoundly, and you don't have the tools to understand why that's occurring. So you've begun to feel this shame pattern inside of you that you don't have language for. You're just feeling shame, literally. That was anchored in your system, not by your cause, by the way. And you need a way to insulate this shame. Okay? So let me explain that. You're feeling the lowest vibrational energy basically as you can get, which is shame. Pick that up from your mother in the womb, from your ancestral patterns that you were indoctrinated into literally in your DNA, from the people around you, from friends, schoolmates, teachers, etc. You're taking on all of these vibrations that didn't originate with you, and you're feeling this low vibrational energy, and you're feeling shame. And what does shame do? It shuts down, right? It hides in the shadows because it believes that it's wrong, it's not okay, it shouldn't be seen, it's humiliating, whatever words you want to put to it. And so you literally insulate your physical body because you're trying to protect yourself and you're trying to protect others. Okay, this is very deep, by the way. Like, this is a very, very deep message. So you might be feeling right now like, I don't even get what she's talking about. But just notice the energy of what I'm saying and just let that energy just flow through. And if your body needs to feel this energy that's being transmitted here by my words and by Archangel Jophiel and our guides and the other beings of love and light who are here with us, just let the energy of this flow through. Let it wash over you. And if there's something in that for you, your body will let that heal. Okay, just trust to the process. Your higher self is not going to allow any energetic process to be facilitated for you that is not for you. So just know that your higher self is doing the discernment here. Anything that is an alignment for your body to heal it, you're going to receive in this transmission. Anything that's not for you just goes right by, or it's held in what we call the bank of the universe, where you'll receive it when your system is open and ready for it. So anyway, thank you for hearing that little disclaimer. But we're just having different levels of awareness now that we're in a 5D alignment. What made sense on the 3D is I carry excess weight. I need to eat better, work out, do this, do that. And none of that ever worked. It might have worked temporarily, but we were abandoning our own needs, our own emotions. We were really just trying to force ourselves to look different, be performative, all these other types of things, which is why if you've struggled with having, optimal weight or things like that, it has been challenging for you, where it might work for a little bit and then it just comes right back. It's because until we get to the root of it, it's not transforming, it's not being alchemized. And you didn't come here to just do surface level things that don't actually change this world. You only do things as a being of light that actually change this world. So that's why you weren't allowed to just get past that pattern. We're actually coming to the root of it now, where it can actually be transmuted fully, right? Return back to the light. And that's how we heal not only ourselves through these patterns, but our entire ancestries and the collective. That's why it's a big deal. And that's why we can't just snap our fingers and say, I want to look different or feel different. Because that's not actually what we're here doing. It's much deeper, much more profound, much more brilliant than that, honestly. So just notice if there's a part of you that may be holding on to some shame. And you may not know what that is, but you'll know if that feels true or not. You don't need to know exactly what it is. And I feel a lot of energy coming in for you right now, and it's actually being transmuted on your behalf. And you might say out loud, just to state your intention, I now allow all shame, all frequencies of shame, all patterns of shame, ancestral and beyond, known or unknown, seen or unseen, multidimensional, multi-parallel, and beyond, to be transmuted completely, returned to source, and transmuted back to light now. It is done, it is done, it is done. 3 times it is done. And so it is. That's the thing about intention. As long as we keep moving even a tiny bit in that direction, it will happen on our behalf. It's only when we choose the complete other side of the coin that we cease to make progress. So just know that. Know that by setting an intention, that you're allowing shame to be transmuted back to source. And as long as you just slightly stay in that direction, in the choices you make, just baby steps. Just choosing authenticity, using your voice, taking care of yourself, expressing yourself, just a little bit. It's enough to shift the patterns because you're standing in that intention with who you're being, how you're being, and that frequency becomes cultivated. It's only when we go in the complete opposite direction of source, of expansion, of our truth, of our intention, of our authenticity, that we can't make that progress because we have free will in this reality. So it has to be a co-creation. But when we co-create, Spirit joins us. Because we're following the path that's for us when we're being truly authentic. And when I say authentic, I mean coherence that centers in the heart. where the mind, the heart, the gut are all connected in harmony. And when we live from that place, that's our authentic self. That's our truth. When we're not battling against ourselves, fighting against ourselves, letting a lower vibrational pattern become the true north in our life. We're not doing that. Just little tiny steps toward our light, expressing our light, being who we know we truly are from the heart, in coherence. Life will give you so much support in that, and it will happen on your behalf. So very little is required of you. And I know I repeat these ideas a lot, but it's because we need repetition to let it become belief, to really sink into our subconscious and be anchored. Very little is required on your part. You just do you, and you'll be supported, and Spirit will act on your behalf. It's when we try to be not us, or we act from a place of self-denial or self-harm or, turning away from our grace, that things get more challenging, that things get more incoherent and all over the place, and we have to get big corrections happening. Whereas when we come from the heart, when we come from intention that's coherent, that's in alignment for us, we're going to face things that feel scary. We're going to face some, pivot points and places where we're challenged to stretch and grow. But it's in an expansive way. It's in a courage type of way. It's not in a self-denial and harm and shadow type of way, right? So I'm just saying this in all different types of words so you can receive it how you need to receive it. But the message stands. We're letting go. We're releasing, we're transmuting anywhere that we needed to insulate shame in the body for protection of self and protection of others. That's no longer needed. It's no longer relevant. It's not even a thing. So just breathing here, letting all of this energy move, and hoping that you get some relief from this, knowing that it was never about you. Never, ever. It's never even meant to be your identity. You just took it on. It's like you took one for the team, right? You felt a low vibration and you wanted to protect it so that it wouldn't hurt anybody. And now we're just letting that go. We're moving beyond that. Because you know you're not the shadow now. You know you're not the source of harm now. You're the source of light. So we're going to do that from this point on. You're free. I can really feel this in the visceral organs, in the gut, in that part of the body. So just know that this energy is going to continue to move and shift as long as it needs to in a very gentle manner. And also know that this is deep stuff we're getting into. And so if there needs to be another talk around this or more comes through, don't worry, I will record it for you and put it up on the channel. And as always, If you want your energy to be more connected to this channel where I am reading specifically for you, like, subscribe, comment, connect your energy to the channel. And that way the readings will just be more in tune, more aligned with you specifically. Thank you, Archangel Jophiel. Thank you, guides, beings of purest love and light. Thank you, everyone who's listening, for co-creating this message, bringing it out for yourselves. It's really beautiful, and I thank you. Drink some water. Make sure you're nourished. Have a beautiful day. We love you.